So we'd like to know how many people got a particular score. And we're going to plot this on our two reference points here. And again, on the vertical we have frequency, count, how many. And on the horizontal we have the actual score. Now let's imagine for a minute that we went to a large public place, and if it's anytime in 2020, we're going to be wearing our masks and social distancing, but just join with me for a minute in a thought exercise here. But let's say we're out in a public place and we are going to measure the height of all the adults that walk by. And ideally we'd like to measure maybe a lot of them, say 1,000 or, at least 150, whatever. And so the very first person walks by and we use our magical measuring tool, whether that's a ruler or whatever, doesn't matter. That's our tool that we're measuring them with. And let's say the first person walks by, they end up being 5'7", which is roughly the kind of the average of the adult height. So we got one person there that's 5'7". Now, another person walks by, and let's say they're a little bit taller, maybe they're 5'8". And another person walks by and they're a little shorter, they're 5'6". And then another person, 5'5", 5'9". Oh, and then another person walked by and they're 5'7". And another person walked by and they're also 5'7". And another person walked by and they're 5'8". And another person, they're 5'6". And then suddenly we got some outliers, and they're really tall. They're like 6 feet, 6'1". I don't know. We'll say they're tall. So they're way up here. Then let's say we got someone who was maybe on the shorter side, and they're 4'11". All right, but then another kind of group of people walk by, and we start to fill in and realize that most people, in terms of height, most people that walk by us are somewhere around 5'7", 5'6". Some on the 5'5", some up to 5'8". And every now and then we get someone really, really tall, and every now and then we might get someone on the shorter side. But as you can see, here's the magic. The more that we continue to sample, the more people that we sample, which is the more people we measure from a given population, the more that this plot, right, that this plot that represents the distribution, the frequency distribution of people in terms of their height, the more that this shape takes on the most beautiful picture in the world. The more that shape takes on the normal curve. Now, I put here the word normal in highlights or in quotes because, as you know with A Deeper Way, one of our foundational tenets is that our definition of a normal person is somebody who is worthy of love and belonging because they exist. So that's our A Deeper Way definition of normal. And that's why I put this word here in quotes, because this is the bell curve. And the idea up to this point was that normal was somewhere in the middle. So from a philosophical standpoint, our concept of normal is anybody under this curve. And the beauty of this curve is that there's no limit to this way, and there's no limit to that way. So we're going to get into, in the next section, some really important things that we can use this bell curve for.